One of Elon Musk's own children has filed a petition to disown her father after she recently came out as trans. Now, Musk's daughter, who recently turned 18, which is the age of consent in California, has asked the court to change her gender recognition from male to female and to register her new name. Her new name was redacted in the online document. And in a quote, Reuters reports that she says, "I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form." Now, the teen's mother is Canadian author Justine Musk, who was married to Musk from 2000 to 2008. She tweeted about her 18-year-old twins on Monday after the first reports of her daughter's name change request came in. She says, quote, "I had a weird childhood," my 18-year-old said to me. "I can't believe I'm as normal seeming as I am. I said, I'm very proud of you." And she responded with, "I'm proud of myself. I'm glad that there's like a loving relationship between mother and daughter here, a supportive relationship." Now, the petition for both a name change and a new birth certificate reflecting her gender identity was filed with the Los Angeles County Superior Court in Santa Monica in April, but we're just learning about it now. Look, I respect privacy, so it's like a little uncomfortable to talk about a private matter like this, but I do think I think it's important to kind of understand what motivates people and the weird takes they have on various social issues, particularly like the trans community, because I've always wondered, Waz, why can't we just let people live? Like, why can't we just respect people, allow them to live lives of dignity? Like, they're not bothering you, so why are you freaking out about the trans community? And he's talked about how he thinks pronouns suck and all this nonsense on Twitter, so I'm sure his daughter didn't really appreciate that. But like, who cares? If you want me to call you, I don't know, a spider monkey, I'll call you a spider monkey. I don't care. Like, I want to respect people. I want them to feel accepted. Especially, by the way, if it has no negative impact whatsoever on anyone, me disrespecting them, refusing to refer to them with their preferred pronoun makes their lives miserable. Why would I want that?
Yeah, I think the problem with Elon is that he's gotten his most enthusiasm online and otherwise from the kinds of people who, get driven up a wall by anything related to trans folks. And so because he's leaned into that, because he feels a need to embrace that enthusiasm from this crowd of people, he's found himself saying really stupid things, and unfortunately for him, people in his family are gonna hold him more accountable than the rest of us can, right? Like, I don't know this dude personally. I don't know how he feels about not having a relationship with his trans daughter. That would seem like a problem for any, good dad. It seems like part of being a dad is maintaining a supportive, functional relationship. But these folks need to feel supported because so much of their lives turns into these huge complications and uproars. And if your own dad is basically posting crap on the internet about people who are like you, I can understand this move 100%.
Yeah, I can understand it too. I can't imagine how painful that is because where a lot of people, not everyone of course, feel the most support is among their friends and family. And to have your father make these very public statements that go against who you are as a person, that's not easy. And Musk, of course, recently came out as a supporter of the Republican Party, which, you got to take a look at what the Republican Party is using as a political issue to gain power, additional power in this country. And they've leaned in hard with these anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ issues. They fearmonger about the trans community. They essentially make them seem as though they're like sexual predators. It's disgusting. And to do all this knowing that you have a daughter who identifies this way is pretty gross. And look, this is not like, I'm not really interested in scolding people who might have like a misstep in the way they communicate about these issues, but their heart is in the right place. No, what we're talking about with Elon Musk is a different situation where he like empowers and emboldens people who engage in this hateful rhetoric. And he like clowns on the trans community regularly through Twitter. I'm curious what you think about this tweet. Let's go to graphic 8 here. He tweeted in March 14th of 2022, Netflix waiting for the war to end to make a movie about a Black Ukrainian guy who falls in love with a transgender Russian soldier. Which honestly, there's like a little bit of truth to that. Like you gotta be honest. Okay, there's definitely that kind of content.
The algorithm does understand how people are generally, in my opinion, a bit too obsessed with identity right now. It can drive me up a wall to hear people be like, "Oh, you're X, Y, and Z, so you can't say anything." Or it's just like, there's a way that people focus just a little too much in a way that sometimes I feel like is tinged with some of the same ideology of KKK one drop rule. To be honest with you, sometimes it feels like it's running on a parallel track as that kind of thinking. That being said, that post that's kind of funny because it's kind of true. It is, because that's how they would market the movie, very cynically and very transparently trying to pander to certain groups. So that tweet is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I think that there's like some truth to it, which is why it resonates with people. But I do see that as different from supporting a political party that wants to persecute like literally members 100%. Of your own family because of who they are. All right, well, speaking about that whole identity politics thing, I actually want to share something personal in the bonus episode tonight. So if you're members, stick around for that. Bonus episode airs immediately after the main show. If you're not a member, you can click on that join button and become one if you're watching us on YouTube, or go to tyt.com/join.